Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. If you are new here, my name is Haley. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm sharing the ways that you can make your bedroom look bigger. So these are applicable not only for bedrooms, but also living rooms, dining rooms, maybe office spaces even. And that's because each of these things are super easy to incorporate into a space. I've kind of picked up all of these pointers after watching dozens of interior design videos, and I feel like they are very, very easy to actually accomplish. So that is why I'm doing this video. They have definitely helped my room appear bigger than it is, and I want that for all of you too. So with that being said, let's get started. Tip number one is to incorporate curtains into your space. So as you can see, I've got two different types of curtains here, and the trick with hanging your curtains is to make sure that they are very close to the actual ceiling. So you'll notice here that each of these rods are about 2 to 4 inches from the ceiling, and the higher you go, the better the appearance will be. The idea with this is that you're actually lifting the room so that when you walk in, it feels much, much taller. The ceiling actually feels higher, and this is honestly a foolproof way to make the bedroom look so much bigger. The next tip that I've got here is to incorporate a really big mirror. So this is one that I actually found on Facebook Marketplace because I know you guys are gonna ask. I feel like if you look on Facebook Marketplace, you'll be able to find quite a few large mirrors for a fraction of the price that you would pay at, say, Restoration Hardware or even IKEA. Sometimes it's pricey. And this one was actually a bathroom mirror that was plastered on somebody's wall. I got it for $70. If you watched my makeover video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But honestly, putting a big mirror in a space just makes it feel so much bigger, and it's because it's reflecting the wall that is opposite of it. So because I've done the super high curtains and they're also white, it just looks so much bigger. Trust me, you guys, put a mirror into your space, incorporate a few even, because I do have another one over here, and you'll be amazed at how much bigger your space feels. Tip number 3 is to incorporate really bright and light linens and textiles. So obviously my curtains are both white. They're both from IKEA. And then my bedding is also white. And the idea here is that you want the whole space to feel really bright so that it feels more open and spacious. If you have really, really dark linens on your bed, you'll notice that the space is going to feel very small. So this is just honestly another foolproof way to make the space feel bigger without actually increasing the size of the room. And tip number 4 is to incorporate a large area rug. This is something that honestly changed the entire appearance of my bedroom. This is the Low Halls rug from IKEA. It is a woven jute rug. Honestly, it brings so much warmth into the space, but it also makes the space feel really, really big. So I'm gonna go all the way back here to when you walk into my bedroom. And it's kind of the first thing that your eye is attracted to when you walk in, which I love because it's such a beautiful rug. And then the next thing that I want to point out here is that my natural floors are actually very dark. So again, like I said with the bedding, a darker wood, a darker, piece of furniture or textile is going to make the room feel smaller no matter what color you have on the walls. So incorporating a rug that is a lighter color is going to do wonders for the openness of the space. Okay, my next tip is to incorporate white into your space. Now, you don't have to have the same design or interior look that my room does, but if you live in a small space, having white actually helps to reflect the light that comes in from, a lamp or, just a window in general. And so for my room, I've incorporated a really neutral white tone. It used to be a really light gray, almost looked white in certain lighting, but as the sun went down, my room just felt super dark and dull. So bringing this white onto the wall helped so much in making the space look bigger. And then as I mentioned, I've got the white textiles, so the curtains and my bedding, but another white thing that I have is actually the bed itself it just blends in with the linens, which I think is key in making it look very cohesive and proper in the space, if that makes sense. And then the other thing I have over here is my white Besta cabinet. So because I've got dark here with the mirror and dark with the clothing rack, the white just helps it blend into the wall in a way because it is around the same color, and it just makes the space feel more spacious. Because imagine if this was a dark wood, it would just blend in with the floor and look like a block that didn't belong in the space. So, you know, really having the eye to incorporate those lighter pieces is going to help immensely when you're trying to make the room look bigger. The next tip that I've got here is to keep your surfaces clear of clutter, and the idea here is so that the room will feel more spacious and airy, because when you have a ton of stuff on a surface, it actually makes the space feel very cramped and disorganized. Nobody likes to walk into a room where there is absolutely no counter space, honestly. That happens a lot in the kitchen mostly, but I know that a lot of people also accumulate clutter on surfaces like this. So just clearing those off is really, really helpful in making your space appear bigger than it actually is. So you've got the example back here on my desk as well. I don't have too much on this area because obviously it's my workspace. I did want to incorporate some decorations, so I put, you know, the vase with the greens here, and then I also have a few books, but it's all very simple and minimal, so it doesn't look cluttered. Now, as we focus on this area, I also want to point out my next tip, which is incorporating greens into your space. There's something about having plants in your space that are real that makes the space feel so much more spacious and airy. I don't know really what it is. I guess the whole idea of having like fresh air in the room and like clean air is the idea here. So even if it is kind of like this dried eucalyptus, having something green that was or is living actually helps the space feel bigger and much more airy and spacious. Okay, now for my last tip, I am actually going to turn off the lights and show you guys the lamps. The tip here is actually to incorporate different lighting around the room so that it kind of brings dimension into the room. So just give me 1 second and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so as we walk into the room, ignore the light coming from the blinds. We've got 3 different areas of light. So the first one here is around my jewelry tray, and this is actually a trick that I honestly accidentally stumbled upon. Basically, the light from this diffuser is honestly just shining through all of the bottles, so it just looks like a really cool light fixture. I don't know, I really like it. And then I've got another lamp over here on my desk, and this one is quite bright, as you guys can see, but I love the light that it brings onto the wall. Otherwise, the whole area here would just feel very flat and dull. And then lastly, I've got a very soft, warm lamp over here in my reading nook, and this is the one that I use usually in the morning because it is a little bit lighter and softer, so it's easier on the eyes, especially when you're reading a book. It's not like glaring at the white page. But basically, as you can see, having the different pieces of lighting in the room actually brings dimension to the space, and it just makes it feel so much bigger, because it's kind of like when you walk into a hotel lobby or even like a hotel room, they have different light fixtures because it does bring that dimension to the space. So that's my last tip for making your room appear bigger. And there you have it, my friends. Those are my tips on how to make your spaces look and feel much bigger than they actually are. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already. I do post every Monday and Thursday. Before I close out, I would love to know, have you incorporated any of these interior design tips into your own spaces? Or do you have any interior design tips for making a space appear larger than it actually is? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.